Hi, I'm Dr. Baxter Bell. You know, sometimes I get so caught up in what I'm doing that I forget to take breaks. I'll sit at my computer for a long period of time. Oh, by the way, of course, I'm coming to you from 101 Years, and this little segment's going to be about taking a little rest break for your wrists when you're at your workstation. So I'm going to set my work off to the side, take my glasses off, and allow myself to sit up straight. Especially if I've been sitting at my desk a lot of time, my posture's not so good. So the first thing I do with any practice that I'm working on is I go right to the posture. And so sitting up nice and tall, if you're sitting in a chair, maybe scoot forward to the front edge of your chair. Sit near the front edge, not the back edge, so you can actually get that nice lift and not rely on the back part of your chair for your spinal support. And then I'm just going to have you float your arms up and out to the sides. And we're just going to go through a whole series of very simple movements for the wrist. And I encourage you to have fun with this. These are kind of simple and funny things that you can do whenever you feel the urge. And who knows, if you look around, you might notice your neighbors doing them too. So we're going to start with simple movements with circular movements in the wrist. So just circling the hands around in one direction a few times, and then circling them around in the opposite direction a few times. Now I like to do this with the fingers extended because it's really cool then to make a fist. And once you have those fists, then circle the wrists around again. And you're going to notice a whole bunch of different sensations just by virtue of making the fist. And then go the other way a few times. I love that contrast between the extended finger circles and the fist circles. And then when you're done, bring your arms down for a second and just shake the arms out, because they can get tired up here in the air if you haven't done that very much. And then bring the arms up again, and let's go ahead and do what I like to call hypnotist hands. So you're going to let the fingers kind of undulate. Have some fun with this. You might even turn to your neighbors and say, "You're very interested in what I'm doing right now." Just have some fun with the wrists, kind of undulating them in and out a little bit, hypnotist hands. And then from there, imagine you've got a big top hat in front of you and you're pulling rabbits or scarves or birds out of your magic hat. So do magic hands, flowing with the wrists a few times, getting into that action. Beautiful. And then imagine you've got two, not one, but two batons in your hands, like the conductor of a symphony, and then do conductor's hands and arms. And of course, when you're doing this, the more movement you bring into the whole arm and shoulder, the better it's going to be for your body. So conductor's arms. Get the oboe section, get the bass, the first violins, get everybody going. And then when you're done, set your batons down and shake your arms out. And then don't forget jazz hands. These were made popular in the 70s. So jazz hands are where you jiggle in the hands. And this jiggling movement actually feels quite nice for the tissues of the arms. So after you've done jazz hands for a few moments, then let the hands shake out a little bit more and then release that. And then there's one that I came up with that I have a lot of fun with called squid hands. So I bring my hand toward the opposite hip and then I make a little fist and then I squid, squid, squid across my imaginary screen. I bring the other hand down and I squid, 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 or if you like sound effects, making little sounds. I'm sure underwater they make no sound at all, but we can imagine. So have some fun with that. And then I also take my hands down to the sides and do little circles at my sides, and then circle the other way, like little propellers, like little helicopter propellers. All right, and then when you're done, just let your hands rest on your knees for a moment. Check your posture. Check the broadness of your front chest if you tend to be a sloucher. Open up and broaden your collarbones. Let your chin drop down just a little bit. And maybe for a moment, if you can steal a moment, take your eyes and close them. And take your awareness inside for a moment. And notice how the wrists are feeling. Do they feel more alive, more refreshed? Do they have more warmth and energy in them? Do you feel like your mind has also benefited from your wrist exercises? Is the mind more alert and refreshed and present than it was before you started your little wrist series? And finally, let your eyes softly open and bring your awareness back into your practice or your workspace. After something like this, you could take a moment and just work softly with your breath. If you're nearing the end of your workday, you might do the relaxing breath practice that we have on this app. Or if you have more work to do, you might do the energizing or activating breath practice that we also have on this app. So click on those now, depending on where you are in your workday. Thanks for joining me for this little wrist break, and look forward to seeing you again. Namaste.